Very good morning, everyone. How are you all? Everyone fine? Now, today we are going to start a final financial reporting classes, and this will be a exam oriented batch. Means I have given a name exam oriented batch. Now, of course, before I start this batch, you should know something ki what I will do in this batch and why the name is exam oriented batch. Correct? Normally, we take for CA final a regular batch and fast track batch. Regular batch normally consists of 280 to 300 hours, correct? And fast track batch, the revisionary batch, that consists of only 60 to 70 hours. But in the recent time, what happened, I found that there are many students who pass CA intern exam, and after 6 months or in the next attempt, they want to write either group 1 or both group. I hope you are understanding. So if that is the case, and if they want to write both group or they want to write one group in the next 6 months, so of course can I say 4 subject for 6 months or 8 subject for 12 months? Can I say the syllabus is very vast? It's not possible to complete entire syllabus for all the subject in that particular frame of time. Correct? Because of that reason, I found that yes, 300 hours might be too long for that type of students. Correct? So what we should do for students that they can learn the subject, write the exam, and pass the exam with the good marks. What I should do for them? Normally, of course, from my point of view, if you say so, of course, regular batch of 280 hours and 300 hours is required. I'm not saying it is not required. But if the circumstances are there that we need to prepare in short span of time and we need to pass in that particular frame of time, what we should do? Of course, we should make a planning is required. So if you want to plan by yourself, you might do some mistake, so better I will only guide you. Because of that reason, what I am trying to do, that I am reducing the number of hours from 280 or 300 to what, 150 hours. So this exam oriented batch will be of 150 hours plus some number of hour that I don't know right now. Are you getting? So this will be my first batch, exam oriented batch, which I am doing. This is also for the first time I am also teaching exam oriented batch. Means in previous batches I have never taken 150 hours batch. I hope you are understanding. Once only, I think before COVID or uh, some time I have taken one time, but that was not that set of time. My mindset was not that I should take for the from a student point of view. Correct? So how to complete entire syllabus in this 150 hour, that will be a challenging task. There are two things which I will follow and that you should also follow with me. First thing, my speed will be little high. Normally I have seen that in 300 hours batch also, which I have discussed with all my previous students, if the speed is 1, they will listen at 1.5 to complete the syllabus fast. So that I can also do in the class. Unnecessary, why you are doing? Let me do only. So I will increase the speed to 1.3 and sometime 1.5 also. Normally when you will increase the speed now in recorded classes, what happen? You will not be able to cope up with my speed. But when I am teaching in that speed, so I know what are your requirements, where I need to take pause, where I should be slow and where I should be fast. That I know. In this concept I should be slow. This concept I may increase my speed. Correct now? That I know, but you don't know. For example, any topic, any new topic, if you will listen that topic in its 1.5 or 1.7 speed, you will not be able to understand. You might be thinking that yes, yeah, I am understanding, but I know you are not understanding. Correct. But there are some topic where I can increase the speed. From my past experience, I know where I need to increase, where I am not supposed to increase the speed. So what I am saying, on an average the speed will be increased. But I will not make it 1.5, I will not make it 2 to reduce the number of hours. Second thing what I will do, there are many questions, means whatever question I used to take in regular batch, almost all the questions will be taken. Almost I am saying. Means I will not delete any concepts. Concept will never be deleted. All the concept will be taken into consideration. But there are some questions which I know you can do by your own. So that I may skip. Because solution will be given to you. And I have seen CA final student, if they know the concept, they can understand the question by solution only. Because what I have felt from my past experience, students don't write solution in class also. Because they think solution is given in the book only. They will do acha tick 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 tick. This I have understood. Same thing we can follow in class now. There are some questions where I know one particular point require explanation. If you know that particular point, you can do the entire question by your own. So instead of doing entire question, we can concentrate on that particular point. And there are some questions which I know if you do by your own, you will not understand, that I will do entirely. In that, we can save some number of hours. So why we are saving this number of hours? Just try to understand what I have felt from my past experience. 300 hours, okay, you are in the class, but if you are not revising this FR, I don't know about other subjects, I will not comment anything about other subjects. Follow faculties for other faculty for other subject, whatever they are saying, that you follow. But for FR, for passing the examination with good marks, I am saying good marks. When I am saying good marks, it should be more than 60%. It should not be less than 60%. Because FR being one of the subject where you can score, and if you are not able to score, then other subjects are dangerous. Are you able to understand? So in FR you can score. I know you can score. So we should score, na? Simply. So good marks means more than 60%. Excellent means what? More than 80%. Correct? So if you want to score 60 plus, minimum 2 time revision is required. Minimum I am saying, maximum your choice. Minimum 2 time. You can't say that 1 time in class we have done 1 time and 1 time revision is okay, done. Meaning after class 2 time revision is required by your own. Now if you have saved 150 hours, so can you say that 150 hours can be used for 1 time revision? And that is more important. If I am saving your 150 hours, and if you can utilize that 150 hours for revision, so ultimately it will benefit you. You score good marks. If you are coming in the class, if you are studying for 300 hours, but if you are not able to revise for 2 time, so can is regular batch will not be sufficient. Are you getting? So in this particular batch, you need to cooperate with me. If I am teaching you, but if you are not doing revision simultaneously with me, then you might find some difficulties. Why? Because the volume of concept in one day will be what? It will be extensive now. Means whatever I used to do in 2 classes in or 1.5 classes in regular batch, that I will complete in 1 class. So more concept will be taken in 3 hours. More concept means more understanding is required. Your patience level is required. Everything is required now. You need to also cooperate with me. However, I'll be trying to adjust everything as per your requirement, because I will be able to understand from your face. Correct? Don't worry about that, but the target will be 150 only. 150 hours. I hope you have understood what we are going to do in this particular batch. Correct? Understood? Now, Coming to CA final financial reporting, CA final financial reporting. First thing, what I want to say that this subject is different from what you have done in your CA inter, because name was different. Means normally we say that financial reporting means accounts, but it is not accounts, it is financial reporting. Means one thing is clear, that it is different from accounting or advanced accounting, whatever you have done in CA inter. In CA inter you have done only the working part. Means the concentration was given at working part. Working means what? Preparing accounts. Preparing accounts means what? Journal, ledger, trial balance. So okay, it was done in CA foundation. And then preparation of final account, whether it is for any company or any banking company, whatever you have done. Means whatever you have done, it was related to workings. More concentration was given to working. Correct now. And working means if you practice more, you'll understand more. And therefore, as a faculty, we used to more concentrate on practice. Because we know what this type of questions will come. If you do the similar type of question 5 times, you will understand what need to be done in exam. In CA inter, more and more practice will give you more and more marks. In CA final, it is totally a different game, because subject name is different. Financial reporting. Reporting means what? How to report. And as a chartered accountant, we are for what? Preparing the financial statement or presenting the financial statement. There is different preparation and presentation. So we see are known for preparing the financial statement or presenting the financial statement. Presenting. We don't prepare financial statement. As a articles we are doing. But once you become CA, can I say we don't prepare, we present financial statement. Means presentation means how to present so that it is reported to the user of financial statement. Correct? So more concentration will be on reporting. I hope the difference you are understanding. And in CA final, if you are only practicing the question, it will not work. Means you need to be conceptually strong also. Conceptually strong means you should know the actual standard. If you know the standard, then only you can write. Similar question, if you have done for 5 times, in exam if you are confused about the concept, you will not be able to write. Means the difference between CA inter and CA final, what I have understood from my past experience, that in CA final you need to have conceptual knowledge and then you should practice. Without practicing, you will not be able to score. Correct? Sir, in CA inter we were also conceptually strong. We have done everything with concept only. That I will prove in this class how much conceptually strong you were. Correct? Means I will inform you, even though you were not knowing that concept, but then also you have scored marks. I will prove in CA final class. Are you getting? Right now I will not say that this you know, this you don't know. But in this my class, I will give you some examples from where question have been asked. Even though you were not knowing the concept, you have scored the marks. Are you getting what I am saying? But in CA final exam, if you don't know the concept, even though you have done similar type of questions many times, you will be not able to write in exam hall. The difference is that only. Got it? So it means our focus, our objective should be to understand the concept more clearly. Questions is different. Of course, we'll practice a lot of questions. But first concept and then concepts, then questions. Correct? Now, when I am saying financial reporting, then as per syllabus is concerned, this subject consists of Ind AS. Now, do you know about Ind AS? Do you know about Ind AS? Anyone? Ind AS. Of course, can you say in CA Inter you have done AS and now it is Ind AS. One thing is clear that AS and Ind AS are different. Correct? AS and Ind AS are different. AS full form is what? Ind AS full form is what? Indian Accounting Standard. Now one doubt will come, so whether AS, whatever we have done in CA Inter, whether it was Indian or it was international. Doubt will come na. So that AS, whatever you have done in CA Inter, that was whether it was related to Indian context or it was not related to Indian context. I hope you are understanding. So can that was also related to Indian context only? Was applicable for companies only? Whatever you have done in CA Inter, that was applicable for companies or not? Now one doubt will come, if this Ind AS is applicable to whom? This Ind AS is also applicable to companies. When I am saying companies you know, which are registered under Companies Act. Are you getting? So one more doubt will come. If with the introduction of Ind AS, whether whatever you have done in CA Inter accounting standard has been deleted, it is not yet deleted. One doubt will come. So what do you think? That AS is right now applicable or not applicable? Applicable. Correct? Because in office you are applying that only. In office you are not applying Ind AS. Anyone who is applying Ind AS in your office? Are you applying or not applying, that I am saying? So there is one person who is applying. Parents, student, have you done any audit of any companies for which Ind AS is applicable? You have not done? Correct. It means in office whatever most means 90% students are applying accounting standard. Why you are not applying Ind Accounting Standard? Because Ind Accounting Standard is applied to big companies, I will say. Not only listed companies, it is applied to big companies. Means it is also applicable to unlisted companies. But it is a big companies. Correct? It means now what is the situation? There are some companies to which Ind AS will be applicable. There will be some company to which AS will be applicable. So we need to understand to which companies AS will be applicable, to which companies Ind AS will be applicable. Correct. Means whatever you have done in CA Inter, that will be applicable to some companies. Means that syllabus is not obsolete. Means whatever you have done in CA Inter, that is also existing right now. And in CA Final, we will be learning Ind AS. That will be applicable to some companies. So we need to understand to which companies Ind AS, to which companies AS will be applicable. However, even though that is not known to us, from examination point of view, we learn only Ind AS. Means at CA Final, entire syllabus is based on Ind AS. Are you getting what I am saying? Whatever I will teach you based on Ind AS. Means I will not discuss anything from accounting standard point of view. Correct? So what actually happened? Means if I say in this way, is CA Inter and CA Final. Correct? CA Final, accounting standard. CA Inter, Indian Accounting Standard. Correct? Now this AS, whatever you have done in CA Inter, correct? That was notified where? You know about that? AS. So this AS, when I am saying this AS are of two types. One is AS issued by whom? ICAI. AS issued by ICAI. Whatever I am writing, good handwriting, you should write down. Correct? If I am writing, you should also write down, na? Oh, if I am writing, you are not writing. I am chartered accountant. You are going to become chartered accountant. If I am writing, you are sleeping. Huh? Correct? This is my good handwriting, huh? Assume this is good handwriting. Okay? So AS are of two types now. One is AS issued by ICAI. Who is ICAI? Our godfather. Our godfather, na? Correct? Yes, sir. Second, AS notified under companies accounting standard rules 2006. AS notified under companies accounting standard rules 2006. Correct. When I am saying AS issued by ICAI, it is applicable to non-corporate entities. Non-corporate entities. When I am saying it is applicable to non-corporate entity, it means other than companies, means partnership firm or any other form of business. Correct? When I am saying non-corporate, it means what? Other than companies. Correct? Now when I am saying it is applicable, so of course one question will come in your mind, whether it is mandatory. Means whether it is mandatory for any partnership firm to apply accounting standard. So of course it is not mandatory. It is not mandatory under any act. So Partnership Act is silent. Partnership Act is silent, na? You have done Partnership Act. So it is applicable, but it is not mandatory. But as per ICAI circular, ICAI means our godfather, circular. What ICAI says that any chartered accountant who is signing any financial statement, their financial statement should comply with the requirement of accounting standard. Means if you are signing any financial statement of any other entity which is not companies, can you say that should be complied with the requirement of accounting standard issued by ICAI? So automatically it become mandatory. Automatically it become mandatory, na? Means if you are doing any audit of any partnership firm, automatically that should be complied with the requirement of what? Accounting standard. I hope you are understanding. And if you are not complying the requirement of accounting standard for the preparation and presentation of such financial statement, you are guilty of professional misconduct. I hope you are understanding. Okay, indirectly it is applicable. Indirectly it is applicable. Correct. Second, what happened? I am saying AS notified under companies accounting standard rules 2006. Means one thing is clear, that this AS, whatever has been notified in companies accounting standard rules, is mandatory applicable for whom? Some set of companies. Correct? So this will be, can I say, applicable to corporate entities. Corporate entities. Understood? Now when I am saying AS issued by ICAI, say how many AS issued? AS1 to AS32. How many AS issued by ICAI? AS1 to AS32. Out of which AS8 and AS6 has been deleted. Deleted means no more. Correct. Now it has been deleted. Why it has been deleted, that I am not discussing. That is not required. Now deleted. Deleted. Okay, sir. And out of these, AS 30, 31 and 32 is not applicable to non-corporate. Understood what I am saying? Means even though issued, it is not applicable to non-corporate. Means actually it was issued for companies. But after that, AS was notified under companies accounting standard rules. So automatically this 30, 31, 32, correct now, one decision was taken that it is not applicable for non-corporate. And therefore it was not a part of CA inter syllabus. Understood what I am saying? It was not a part of CA inter syllabus. But it was issued by ICI. So why we are discussing this? You said only Ind AS, come to Ind AS. Why you are wasting your time? So this is 150 hours batch. Then also you are discussing this. Whatever teaching, I will decide. You are not supposed to decide. Of course, this is not at all important from examination point of view, but you should know. These are the facts which you should know as a CA final student. I hope you have understood AS issued by ICI. Now coming to AS which has been notified under company's accounting standard rules. So this is AS1 to AS7. AS1 to AS7. And then AS9 to AS29. These were notified. Means AS8 was not notified because that was already deleted before 2006. AS30, 31, 32 was not notified because AS30, 31, 32 were issued by ICI after 2006. And that was still not notified in these rules. But AS6 was notified, but now it is deleted. So out of these, can I say AS6 is deleted? I hope you are understanding why I have not mentioned AS8, because it was not notified only. If it was not notified, a question of deletion will not arise, na? But AS6 was notified, then with the introduction of AS10 revised, AS6 was deleted. Understood? So can you say to companies only these accounting standard were mandatory applicable? Got it? Now one doubt will come. So what is the difference between AS issued by ICI and AS notified under company's accounting standard rules? Initially there was some difference, but now there is no difference. No difference. Means AS1 issued by ICI is equal to what? AS1 notified under these rules. Same to same. And therefore, at CA inter level, it might happen this much explanation was not given. Because both were same. Whether applicable to companies or non-companies. Initially there was some difference, but now that difference has been removed. So nothing to discuss about that. So no difference. No difference. Got it? Have you understood? Yes, sir. Correct. Now second doubt will come, sir, if AS was already notified under company's accounting standard rule 2006, what was the need of Ind accounting standard? So this Ind accounting standard is actually totally different from this accounting standard that is understood from these points. Totally different. So this Ind AS is what? This Ind AS is converged form of what? Of IAS or IFRS. Correct? This converged form What is the meaning of converged? It has been not totally adopted, means India has not adopted this IFRS. India has taken this IFRS but has converted this IFRS as per the requirement of Indian economy. So I will say there is some difference between Ind AS and IFRS also. There are some changes there also, but it is converse form. 95% it remains same only. When I am saying India has not adopted IFRS, they have not adopted. There are many other countries who has totally adopted IFRS without any changes, but India is India. India will say will not adopt, will take IFRS but as per our requirement, and wherever modification required will modify it, and therefore we call it converse form of IFRS. Now you must be thinking, sir, you have written IAS or IFRS. What is IAS? What is IFRS? When I say IAS, it always means International Accounting Standard. When I say AS, AS means whatever you have done in CA Inter. When I say Ind AS, it is Indian Accounting Standard, what you will do in CA Final. So IAS does not mean Indian Accounting Standard. When I say only I, it does not mean Indian, it means international. IFRS full form is what? International Financial Reporting Standard. So now one doubt will come, so what is IAS? What is IFRS? You know about this? No. So what happened? During 2000, a new committee was formed replacing International Accounting Standard Committee. Means previously the committee name was what? International Accounting Standard Committee. And then it was replaced by International Financial Reporting Committee. What was the intention? Intention was to form accounting standard which is globally accepted. Globally means throughout world. Every companies of entire world should follow one set of accounting standard. That was need also. There was need of that particular that time. One standard followed by every companies. And therefore one committee was formed. The name of the committee was changed from IAS committee, means International Accounting Standard Committee, to IFRS committee. Correct? But can I say before the formation of IFRS committee, already International Accounting Standard Committee has already issued many accounting standard. Correct? So this IAS, they were IAS 1 to IAS 41 before formulation of IFRS committee. Understood? Out of which many international accounting standard is now no more existing, means it is already deleted. So right now I will not say which international accounting standard has been deleted. You will automatically understand this international accounting standard has been deleted. But how many international accounting standard has been issued? 1 to 41. 1 to 41 has been issued. And after formation of IFRS committee, can you see this committee started drafting accounting standard, new accounting standard? So they started giving a different name, and they started giving the name IFRS 1 to IFRS 16. Understood? But this IFRS 1 to IFRS 16 were those accounting standard which were not issued under this, means that were totally new accounting standard. Correct? Means can I say this IAS 1 to IAS 41, this title was retained, it was not changed to IFRS, the name was retained. So they have not changed the name of previous standard which were issued by IAS committee. Means can I say now IAS 1 to IAS 41 and IFRS 1 to IFRS 16 are exist, and both will be applicable. Both will be applicable. in international environment. Have you understood? So even though IFRS committee was formed, they have not changed the title. They have not changed the title from IAS 1 to, they have not changed the name International Accounting Standard to IFRS. Understood? And therefore we say IAS or IFRS. But now whenever I say IFRS, IFRS include what? IAS. So I will not say on a repetitive basis IAS or IFRS, IFRS or IAS. I will say only IFRS. Whenever I say IFRS, IFRS will include what? IAS 1 to IAS 41. Correct? This you have understood. So now one thing is clear, that this has been converged to what? This has been converged to Ind AS. But when we were adopting IFRS, to one there was challenge what name we should give, because here it is Ind AS, it is IAS 1, here it is IFRS 1. There was one difficulty is now how to number it, because there are two standards with number 1, IAS 1 and IFRS 1. There was one challenge now. Are you able to? So what they have decided, the IAS will be named as, will be numbered as Ind AS 1 to Ind AS 41. Understood? Means IAS 1 will become what? Ind AS 1. IAS 41 will become what? Ind AS 41. Now what about IFRS 1? So what they have decided, any number for IFRS, the number will be Ind AS 101. Understood? To what? Ind AS 116. Means you might have heard that Ind AS 116, Ind AS 117, yeah, whatever, Ind AS 101. You might be thinking 101 means 100 standards are there. No. Nothing to worry. Effectively, there are 35 and 36 Ind AS. Effectively, which you need to study. I hope you understand. But now I hope you have understood, when I am saying Ind AS 101, it means IFRS 1. When I am saying Ind AS 1, it means IAS 1. Correct? When I am saying Ind AS 116 means IFRS 16. Correct? Till now these are effective Ind AS. Effective means which is now applicable. I mean right now IFRS 17 means Ind AS 117. Correct? Huh? IFRS 17, it means Ind AS 117 is in drafting stage, or I will say not yet effective. If it is not yet effective, it is not a part of your syllabus. Once it become effective, it will become a part of your syllabus automatically. It means you need to pass the exam, CA final exam, as soon as possible. Otherwise you need to study that Ind AS also, if it become effective before you become CA. Correct? Yes sir. This was one information which was required to be understood by you all. But now coming to this Ind AS, so this Ind AS were notified. Which Ind AS? Ind AS 1 to Ind AS 41 and Ind AS 101 to Ind AS 116 is notified where? Is notified under what? Companies Indian Accounting Standard Rules 2000? No. These Ind AS were applicable from which year? Know about that? You do. 2015. 2015. It was first mandatory applicable from 1/4/2016. 1/4/2016. Rules is what? 2015. Understood? Correct? Yes sir. I hope you have understood this point. Now it means there are two type of companies. Now there are two type of companies. So when you are going for any audit, you need to ask which type of company you are. Correct? So there are two type of companies from financial statement point of view. Correct? Company to which Ind AS will be applicable. Company to which Ind AS is not applicable. So company to which Ind AS is applicable. Understood? Company to which Ind AS is applicable. The company to which Ind AS is applicable, that has been given in which rules? This rule. These are the set of company to which Ind AS will be applicable. Means for balance company, what will be applicable? AS will be applicable. Means you should know कि for this company Ind AS is applicable, so automatically the balance company AS will be applicable. Correct? It means you should know this point, automatically you know what are the company to which Ind AS is not applicable. So to balance company to which AS, when I am saying AS means what? What you have done at CA inter level. Correct? To which AS is applicable. This you have understood? Correct. Means what I want to say ki any company to which Ind AS is applicable, their financial statement will be prepared as per the requirement of Ind AS. And to any company to which AS will be applicable, their financial statement will be prepared as per the requirement of accounting standard. Correct now. One thing is that inter accounting is going to change for those company to which Ind AS is applicable. Means whatever you have done in CA inter is going to change in CA final. Is going to be changed, and it is not only change, it is a revolutionary change. Means it will change entire accounting. It does not mean that whatever you have done in CA inter that you should forget, because most of the time in your articles you are applying what? Accounting standard. Why you are applying? Because that part, that form means where you are doing articleship, there is no such companies where Ind AS is applicable, because that are big company, giant companies. For example, Reliance Industries, big company, what will be applicable? Ind AS will be applicable. Any subsidiaries of Reliance Industry, automatically what will be applicable? Ind AS will be applicable. Even though for that subsidiary turnover is zero, but you are not doing audit for that companies. But after becoming CA, so you'll do now. After becoming CA, you'll do, or you'll do only audit for those type of company which you are doing right now. No, no. Of course, after becoming CA, you'll do audit for those type of companies. So entire knowledge is required. Correct. So write down here the finance means to the companies to which Ind AS is applicable. Here the financial statement is prepared as per the requirement of division 2 of Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013, Division 2. Have you done Schedule 3 in your CA inter? Schedule 3 format of balance sheet. Have you done or not? So whatever format you have done in your CA inter, that was Division 1 or Division 2, you might not be knowing, because that was not informed to you, because that was not required in CA inter, but that was as per Division 1. So Division 1 format is applicable to which companies? To which AS will be applicable? Means can the format is also going to change? Format means presentation of financial statement. That format is also going to change, because now you need to prepare the financial statement as per the requirement Division 2, not Division 1. Means to these companies, what will be applicable? Financial statement will be prepared as per the requirement of Division 1 of Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. Have you understood? Format is going to change. Only this information I need to give. But right now, we'll not start with the format. Format I will do after some time. But in your mind, one thing should now fix, that format is going to change. How to prepare that form is what is the requirement of division 2, that we'll discuss in our later classes. Correct? This much you understood? Any doubt? So it means how many division in schedule 3? How many division in schedule 3? No, there are 3 divisions. How many division? Division 1, division 2, division 3. Division 3 is not in our syllabus. Division 1 is not in our syllabus. Only what is in our syllabus? Division 2. So what is division 3? Division 3 is applicable to NBFC. NBFC means what? Non-banking financial company, to which Ind AS is applicable. And NBFC is not in our syllabus. If non-banking financial company is not in our syllabus, they will not ask any question on that, na? And it means indirectly I will say it is not a part of our syllabus, because that topic is not in our CA finance syllabus. NBFC, I think you have done it, CA Inter, but now that is also deleted from CA, means incoming syllabus. So what I am saying, NBFC is right now not in our syllabus, therefore division 3 is not applicable in our syllabus. Yes, but I will say there are how many divisions? 1, 2, 3. So from CA final point of view, this will be a part of our syllabus. This will be our part of our syllabus, and this will be, I will say, 95% of syllabus. 95%. 5% there are some theoretical chapter which are not related to Ind AS. It means entire syllabus is what? Ind AS. Entire syllabus is understood? Correct. Before coming to any Ind AS, let us understand it to which company which Ind AS is applicable. Because if I will not discuss that point, you will always think is to which company it will be applicable. So let us discuss first that. Come to chapter number 2, Ind AS introduction. Introduction already I have given. Already I have introduced Ind AS in your life, na? Already I have introduced. So what is the meaning of Ind AS? Indian Accounting Standard. Ind AS means what? Indian Accounting Standard. It does not mean AS is not Indian Accounting Standard. When I am saying AS is also related to Indian context only. But the name given to this set of AS is Indian Accounting Standard. Correct na? So Indian Accounting Standard is what? Our international financial reporting standard. Correct? Our international financial reporting standard, they have not used what term? IAS. Because now when I say IFRS will include what? IAS. So this is understood point. Whenever I am saying IFRS will include what? IAS. But we will not say now IAS, because that was earlier name. Now the new name is what? IFRS. For example, your good name may be what? Rahul, but your nickname is something different. But whenever you go to official purpose, what you will say? Your nickname or good name? Good name. You will never disclose your nickname. It is as simple as that. When I am saying IFRS will include what? IAS. So our international financial reporting standard converged. The word is what? Converged. Standard issued by central government of which country? Of India. CG of India. Through what? MCA. You know MCA? Through Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Under the supervision and control of ASB. ASB means Accounting Standard Board of what? ICI. Under the supervision of ICI. It is not issued by ICI. Correct. Under the of course, can I say ICI is the highest accounting body in India? They will take guidance from whom? ICI, and ICI is also government body. ICI is also government body, na? So under the supervision of ASB of ICI in consultation with what? NACAS. NACAS means what? National Advisory Committee on Accounting Standard. Now the name has been changed. Now NACAS become NAFRA. NAFRA means what? National Financial Reporting Authority. You know about NAFRA? You don't know about NAFRA? Yes or no? No. It means you don't read news. You don't read news. Correct na? Yeah, you don't listen news. Business news, not entertainment news. So how many of you read newspaper? How many of you listen business news? You only say being a CA, one thing, being a CA final student. CA means chartered accountancy. Is commerce. Commerce means business. Business means we should have all the knowledge of business, what is going in industry right now, and we don't read newspaper. And we think we need to become CA. Wrong or correct? You only ask yourself. You are not updated. What is going in India right now? You are not updated now. Syllabus is something different. Passing the exam is something different. But you should have all the knowledge what is going right now in India. Yes or no? Because you are chartered accountant, a final student. Yes or no? You should read or you should not read. So we don't have time only. How we will read? Follow yes or no? You don't have time. You have time. You don't use that time. Acha, how many of you have Facebook account? Don't say. How many of you have Facebook account? You have. Or you don't have? You don't have. Instagram account? You don't have. You have now. YouTube account? You have. And how many of you go through Facebook account? You have. Whether you follow Facebook? Yes or no? You don't open Facebook. You try to update about your friends na? What they are doing, what they are not doing. Bolo yes or no? Yes, you do. Bolo yes or no? Instagram, you follow your friends or not? That is required for your life to become CA. Bolo yes or no? That is required to become CA. What your friends are doing, whether they became CA or not, whether they change their status or not, whether they are now married or not, what they are doing, that is not required. You should have business use channel account that you don't have. You have time but you don't use it. Delete that app, install a new app. That is not required. In my phone you will not find any Facebook account, any Instagram account, any YouTube account. However, I require it for my business purpose. I require it for my business purpose. You know this point? I require Facebook. I have 5 Facebook account. Not 1, 5. How many account? 2 Instagram account, 1 YouTube account, 1 LinkedIn account, 1 Twitter account. But I don't use. My staff use. I don't have time to use that. Because I don't need. But my entire business is run through that account only. I only someday I need to check what my staff are doing. I'll open their mobile only, I'll check it. In my phone you will not find any Facebook, any Twitter, any Instagram, any YouTube, nothing. Because I don't require. But you require. Bolo yes or no? You require na? Change yourself. Otherwise ICI will change you. Change yourself. Otherwise ICI will pakka change you. Huh? Will pakka change you. Understood? Only for some initial class I will just try to give you some points which is required to become A. Which is required to become. So you can, now this already you have understood. Ind AS are named and numbered in the same way as the corresponding international financial reporting for ease of reference. That already I have discussed. Ind AS 1 to Ind AS 41, Ind AS 1012, Ind AS 116, correct? Now, is there any difference between international financial reporting standard and Indian accounting? Is a yes difference, converse form. So there are 3 types of difference. How many types of difference? 3 types of difference. So these changes means whatever changes, there are three types of changes. First is known as terminology changes. Terminology changes means there are some terms which has been used in IFRS is not used in Ind AS. That term has been changed. Correct? Two examples I will give. For example, as per IFRS, and as per Ind AS. Correct? As per Ind AS, we call balance sheet. You know balance sheet? Correct? And statement of PL, profit and loss. Statement of profit and loss as per Ind AS. But in IFRS, it is what? Statement of financial position. Statement of financial position and statement of comprehensive income. CI means what? Comprehensive income. If you want to write down full form. Statement of financial position. Statement of comprehensive. Spelling is what? Comprehensive income. Statement of comprehensive income. Understood? Correct. Statement of comprehensive income. But now under Ind AS, what term has been used? Balance sheet and statement of PL. But these two are same only. Internationally we call it what? Statement of financial position. India we call it what? Balance sheet. Only term has been changed, but requirement remains same or not? Means there is a difference, but actually there is no difference. If I will call you, if your name is Mr. Anand, if I will call you Andu, so whether your nature will change, your nature will remain same or not? So only the name terms has been changed, but the features remain same. The content remain same. Correct? So why such changes? Why we are not calling it statement of financial position and statement of comprehensive income when we have converted ourselves from IFRS to Ind AS? The reason was Companies Act. Now in Companies Act, you have done Companies Act 2013. In Companies Act, what term they have used? Balance sheet and statement of PL. Means if you are changing the terms in Ind AS, you need to also change where? In Companies Act. Companies Act says financial statement include what? Balance sheet. Financial statement include what? Statement of profit and loss. It means amendment was required where? In Companies Act also. Can we amend? In India it is very difficult to amend any act. Bolo yes or no? India is very difficult or not? It will require a number of years. I hope you understand it. So can you say, of course, statement of financial position is a correct term. Statement of comprehensive income is a correct term. But we have not retained that term because if you want to use that term, we need to also amend our Companies Act. So till there is any amendment in Companies Act, we are using balance sheet and statement of PL. Understood? So these are terminology changes. First difference you understood, but actually these are not a difference. Actually these are not a difference. Understood? Yes, sir. Second difference was removal of options. Removal of option. Now IFRS, what they have given, because can I say IFRS is globally accepted? When I am saying globally accepted means various country has adopted IFRS. Correct now. When I am saying globally accepted, to what they have done for ease of accounting, they have given option for particular transaction. They give option means they have given some option for accounting treatment. Option for accounting treatment. Either you do this or you do this for ease of accounting. For ease of accounting. Correct now. So either you do this or you do easy accounting. So that you can adopt now. If I will say only do this, and if it is not easy, so we will not be able to follow only. I hope you are understanding. So when I am saying it is globally accepted, for acceptance some easiness should be given or not. So IFRS has given some option under IFRS for ease of accounting. such option has been removed in days. What they are saying, only this. Don't use this. Correct now? So if that option has been removed, it does not mean there is some changes now. We are saying only do this. Because can I say when I am giving option, it means financial statement become non-comparable. I am using option number 1, you are using option number 2. So it is difficult to compare. So for Indian companies, they are saying you use this only. Don't use second option. So when I am saying removal of option, whether there is any difference from IFRS, no difference. Only we are removing the option. We are not changing the accounting treatment. So it means it is actually not a difference. So can I say first two, of course these are differences, but actually it will not give any impact on difference. Correct? Understood? The first is what various terminology has been changed. Second is what removal of option. Third is known as carve out and carve in. This is actually the difference. Carve outs and carve in. So when I am saying carve out, it means what? Some accounting treatment which is given under IFRS has been changed in India as per Indian economic condition. That is known as carve out. That is known as carve out. IFRS given this accounting treatment. This accounting treatment has been changed to different accounting treatment as per the Indian economic condition, because we are not able to apply that accounting treatment. This is known as what? Carve out. And there are some accounting treatment for which IFRS was silent. Means IFRS has not given any accounting treatment for particular transaction. So they have introduced an accounting policy for such accounting treatment. So that is known as carve in. That is known as carve in. Understood? So whenever we have changed, it is known as what? Carve out. Whenever we have introduced, it is known as what? Carve in. Understood? So can this become changes, actual changes? And this changes only 5%. Not more than that. I will say less than 5%. Means can I say effectively it is same only? It means if you know Ind AS, you know IFRS, only 5% difference means 5 minutes. 5 minutes is required to understand the difference. Na? Bolna yes or no? So it means when I am teaching you Ind AS, so actually you are also learning what? IFRS. There is no major difference. There is no major difference. Correct? Now one point will come, sir, whether this carve out and carve in are a part of our syllabus. As per ICAI study material, yes. Because they have also given reference of this carve out and carve in. But as per syllabus, no. Are you able to understand? Means when we read ICAI study material, they have given reference of this carve out and carve in. But as per the content of syllabus, it is not a part of syllabus. So I will also teach. And can I say we should also teach only? Because 5% difference. Let us understand that also. Correct? So with respective Ind AS, we'll discuss that also. Even though it is not a part of syllabus, I will say read but leave. Correct? Because in exam, whatever you are answering, answer should be based on Ind AS, not based on IFRS. Understood? Correct. So what is this carve out and carve in? The difference which are in deviation to the accounting principle and practice stated in IFRS are commonly known as carve out. Further, if there is no guidance under IFRS for a particular transaction event, then the guidance provided in Ind AS is known as what? Carve in. These changes has been made what? As per the economic condition prevailing in India. As per the economic condition prevailing in India. Because just try to understand UK, if UK has adopted IFRS, their economic condition is totally different from India. We can't follow what UK is doing. Can we follow what UK is doing? There are some changes required or not? Are you able to? Considering that conditions, we have done some changes. And therefore, we call it converse form. We don't call it, we have adopted. We have converted. Understood? Yes, sir. Now, coming to the roadmap. Roadmap means what? For which company Ind AS will be applicable. Correct? Understood? So they have given roadmap. Roadmap means ki Suddenly they have not said these are the companies to which Ind AS will be applicable, then the everyone will die. Because till now we are applying what accounting standard, some time period should be given for application or not. So some roadmap has been given, and as per that roadmap, companies will come under the purview of Ind AS on some time basis. On some time basis. Correct? So for applicability, they have divided. For applicability, they have divided two type of companies. One is companies other than banking companies, other than insurance company, other than NBFC. Companies other than banking company, what is applicable? Banking Regulation Act. So can we say anything against Banking Regulation Act? No. Correct? So for banking company, some other guidance will come. Insurance company means IRDA, and NBFC, because it is a financial company, some other rules were applicable. Means banking company is also financial company, na? Non-banking financial company is also financial company. Correct? So for them, some other rules has been given for applicability. So when I am saying companies other than banking company, insurance company, and NBFC, so balance company will come. So we are right now discussing about balance company. For balance company, what is the rule? Everyone, just try to understand. However, this is not at all important from examination point of view. Why it is not important? Because normally they don't ask this type of questions. It's a part of syllabus, but till now they have not asked any question based on this. Why? Because it become past tense. It become past tense, na? Are you getting what I am saying? It become past tense. So now it is not important from examination point of view, but you should know for which company Ind AS is applicable. Correct? Yes, sir. So what they are saying? First we are discussing about for companies other than banking companies, NBFC and insurance company. I hope this point you have understood. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. The roadmap has been given in how many phase? 3 phase. First phase applicable from 1/4/2015, because rules was introduced in which year? 2015. So first it is applicable from 1/4/2015 to all companies, but on voluntary basis. Means they have given ki for this year you can apply voluntary. If you want to apply, apply. If you don't want to apply, don't apply. Means from 1/4/2015 it was not applicable on mandatory basis. It was applicable on voluntary basis. Understood? So from 1st April 2015 or thereafter, voluntary basis for all companies. Means any company can adopt. Means any small company can also adopt Ind accounting standard. Their choice. Correct? Yes, sir. Next, phase 2 start from 1st April 2016 on which basis? Mandatory basis. Now it become mandatory. So it is applicable to which companies on a mandatory basis, that we need to understand. First, companies listed are in the process of listing either in Indian stock exchange or in foreign stock exchange. Understood? Whose net worth, having a net worth of 500 crore or more. 500 crore or more. Understood? Means any listed company or any company which are in the process of listing whose net worth is 500 crore or more, to that company what will be applicable? Ind AS will be applicable from which date? 1/4/2016 on a mandatory basis, even though turnover is zero. Even though turnover is zero, even though they have not started business, their net worth is what? 500 crore or more. Correct? Second, unlisted company means any company which are not listed. Correct? To them also it will be applicable if their net worth is 500 crore or more. Means these are giant companies, big companies. 500 crore or more means it is a big companies na. So it means indirectly we can say from 1/4/2016 to all big companies, what is applicable? Ind AS is applicable. So big means net worth is 500 crore or more. Correct? If it is applicable to point number A and B, it is also applicable to their subsidiaries, associate, joint venture and their parent companies. Means parent company and subsidiaries or associate or joint venture above also what will be applicable? Ind AS will be applicable even though their net worth is less than 500 crore. Correct. I hope you know about parent company. I hope you know about subsidiary company. Parent, subsidiary, you know. Parent means holding company. Subsidiary, you know. Do you know about associate? You know. Yes. So if you know, very good. You know about joint venture? If you know, very good. But I know you don't know. Correct. So detailed discussion about parent, subsidiaries, associate, joint venture will do in separate chapter. See, what is the meaning of parent company? What is the meaning of subsidiary company? What is the meaning of associate? What is joint venture? All things we'll discuss. But right now we'll not discuss because you said you know. So nothing to discuss right now. Correct. But I hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. Okay. Second phase means third phase will start from 1/4/2017. So some company will once again come apart from those company which is already come under the purview in phase 2. Correct. So what they are saying, all companies which are listed or which are in the process listing will come under purview of Ind AS in third phase, even though their net worth is less than 500 crore. Means can I say now, as per current situation, all listed company, all companies which are in the process listing, Ind AS is applicable. Ind AS is applicable. Any companies which are listed or in the process listing, Ind AS is applicable now. Correct. So all companies which are listed or in the process listing inside or outside India on a stock exchange not covered in phase 1, other than company listed in SME exchange. Correct. Other than company listed on SME exchange means SME means what? Small and medium enterprise exchange. Means any stock exchange which is small and medium, if your companies are listed in that SME exchange, then Ind AS is not applicable to you. So some relaxation has been given to those companies which are listed in SME exchange. Do you know about any SME exchange? Do you know about any stock exchange? Know about Bombay Stock Exchange? National Stock Exchange? There are two, BSE and NSE. You know, they in Hyderabad also there was some year before there was some stock exchange. Now it is no more existing. You know about Hyderabad Stock Exchange? You don't know. So okay. But there was one stock exchange in Hyderabad also, but now it is liquidated. Means there may be some exchange, for example, Ahmedabad Stock Exchange, Kolkata Stock Exchange. There are some stock exchange, but they are not big stock exchange. They are SME stock exchange. Means there may be some stock exchange which are SME, small and medium stock exchange. Just try to understand. Suppose I am a growing company, but I am a small company. Can I say to become popular? If I inform you I am listed, so can I say you will be impressed or not? But can I list my shares in Bombay Stock Exchange? Very costly. National Stock Exchange, lot of formalities will be there. Will die. So what we'll do? We'll list our shares in SME exchange only to become popular. And suppose we got listing, and if I say we are listed, so can I say what you are understanding about company? It is a big company. So sometime we list our company in small and medium stock exchange. It does not mean we become big companies, na. It does not mean we become big companies. Therefore, some relaxation has been given to those companies which are listed in SME stock exchange. If for them Ind AS is not applicable on mandatory basis, if you want to apply Ind AS on voluntary basis, you are welcome. If you want to apply Ind AS on voluntary basis, you are welcome. But for your companies, it is not mandatory applicable. It is not mandatory applicable. Understood? Have you understood? Yes, sir. Correct. The second, it is also applicable to unlisted company, but not all unlisted companies. Unlisted company it is applicable, but having a net worth of 250 crore or more. Means as per current situation, any unlisted company having a net worth of 250 crore, Ind AS will be applicable. Means any unlisted company whose net worth is less than 250 crore, Ind AS is not mandatory applicable, but they can adopt on voluntary basis. Understood? Correct. Point number C, I hope you understood. Any parent, any subsidiaries, any associate, any joint venture of A and B, Ind AS will be applicable. Understood? I think phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 you have understood. This is for those companies which are not banking companies, insurance companies, and NBFC. Correct? Understood? So can I say, if you know these are the company to which Ind AS will be applicable, so you automatically understand these are the company to which Ind AS is not applicable. So now, can I say, before going for audit, you should first decide whether AS is applicable or Ind AS is applicable. Sometimes what happens, there are some subsidiaries you are doing audit, but having a net worth of what, 2 crore. But for them, Ind AS is applicable or not? It might happen Ind AS is applicable, but you are not following because your chartered accountant does not know about that. So you should inform your CA or not. You don't know anything. We know everything. Correct? So before going for audit, you should first try to analyze whether Ind AS is applicable or Ind AS is not applicable. Understood? Yes, sir. Now coming to banking companies, insurance companies, and NBFC. When I am saying banking companies, so of course commercial bank. When I am saying commercial bank, so of course scheduled commercial bank. So what are scheduled commercial bank? You have done banking company chapter. I think you know about scheduled commercial bank. Do you know about scheduled commercial bank? हाँ छोड़ दो. Prefer CA enter syllabus. That is not my part. Correct na? This much you should know na. What is scheduled, what is non-scheduled. However, most of the banks are scheduled only, which are listed in RBI guidelines. Which follow RBI guidelines, they become what? Scheduled commercial bank. Correct? But it does not include what? RRB. Excluding what? Regional Rural Bank. Means for RRB, Ind AS is not applicable. So banking company excluding what? RRB. So we are discussing about banking company excluding RRB. We are also discussing about all insurance companies and all NBFCs. Some different roadmap has been given. For banking company, actually, initially it was applicable from 1/4/2018. Initially it was to be applied from 1/4/2018. But Banking Regulation Act says that we are not yet prepared because they need to change the format. And act is Indian Act now. You know how much time is required to change the act. So they say we require some time. And till now, it is not yet given any time applicability for banking company. Means they have deferred the implementation. They have deferred the implementation. I hope you have understood. Means right now for all banking companies, what is applicable? Banking Regulation Act and AS is applicable. Means whatever you are doing in CA Inter, that is only applicable. Means once Ind AS is applicable, so can you say whatever you are doing in CA Inter, that is kata laga, and that will be excluded from syllabus only. That will become outdated now. Are bolna yes or no? Correct? I hope you are understanding what I am saying. So right now what I will say, for scheduled commercial bank, RBI defer the Ind AS implementation. Initially it was 18, then they have deferred to by 1 year. Now it has been deferred. No date has been announced. Okay, na? So RBI defer the Ind AS implementation till further notice to a notification dated 22 March 2019. In simple word, not applicable right now. Similar thing happened with insurance company. Insurance company say banking company is not implementing. Why we will implement? So initially the date was 1/4/2019 for insurance company, but now it has been deferred. So for insurance company also right now, as per current scenario, I don't know what will happen after 6 months. As per current scenario, insurance company Ind AS is not applicable. Have you understood? Now for non-banking financial company, yes, it is applicable because for NBFC there is no act. Banking Regulation Act is applicable to banking companies. IRDA is applicable to insurance company. NBFC there is no act. Means General Act will be applicable. Means Companies Act will be applicable now. And because we are right now discussing about companies, Indian Accounting Standard rules. So some rules will be given in that only. I hope you have understood. So for NBFC, some rules has been given for the applicability. Understood why for NBFC rules has been given? Because NBFC is not governed by some specific act. It is not governed by some specific act. Correct? So what is the rule that we need to understand? Here also two phases has been given, phase 1 and phase 2. So it is first for NBFC, India's will be first applicable from 1/4/2018. Means 15, 16, 17. Understood? Here it was 15, 16, 17. After that, what will come? 18. 1/4/2018. So for NBFC, India's was first applicable from which date? 1/4/2018. The rules remain same. You can read, you will understand. NBFC, whether listed or unlisted, having a net worth of 500 crore or more, and any parent company, subsidiaries, associate or joint venture of that company also Ind AS will be applicable. Understood? Correct. Second phase starts from 1/4/2019. Now can you see, in this all NBFC which are listed or in the process listing will be covered. So they have written NBFC whose equity shares or debt securities are listed or in the process listing on any stock exchange either in India or outside India, and having a net worth of less than 250 crore, means in simple word I will say all NBFC whether listed or in the process listing Ind AS will be applicable. Then NBFC that is unlisted having a net worth of 250 crore or more, to them also Ind AS will be applicable. Point number C, any parent company, any associate, any joint venture, any subsidiary of above, Ind AS will be applicable. Understood? I think no discussion required for this. NBFC you have understood. So can I say in simple word, if you want to retain 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 15, 1, 4, 15, voluntary basis. Then 16, 17, 18, 19. And can it become past tense? Past tense means question will not be asked. Question will not be asked. But you don't know ICI, huh? You don't know ICI. Always expect unexpected things from ICI. Correct? Always unexpected questions are asked in exam. So I am saying not important, it does not mean they cannot ask. They can ask. Okay? Then one point is given, if you read about net worth, one note has been given. So one point will come, some net worth of which year? Net worth of which year, and how to calculate net worth? Now net worth will be calculated as per the financial statement prepared as per existing accounting standard or Ind accounting standard. So you only say, when I am applying Ind AS for the first time, net worth should be calculated as per which financial statement? Financial statement prepared as per AS or Ind AS? AS only. AS only now. So one thing, net worth will be calculated as per the financial statement prepared as per existing accounting standard. Correct? But what is the meaning of net worth? So how to calculate net worth? So this rule says net worth means as defined under Companies Act. As defined under Companies Act. Correct? Because net worth has different meaning. If you go to income tax, net worth defined something differently. Are you getting what I am saying? If you have done FM, in FM net worth formula is different only. But here we are following companies, so we need to follow what? Companies Act. So what is the meaning of net worth is given, check karenge. Net worth, you can see net worth meaning has been given. Net worth means paid up share capital. When I am saying paid up share capital will include both equity shares and preference share, because both are capital. Both are capital. So net worth means what? Paid up share capital plus all reserve created out of profit. Okay, normally reserves are created out of profit only. But there are some reserves which are not created out of profit. The best example is revaluation reserve. Okay, revaluation reserve, whatever revaluation gain we transfer to revaluation reserve, it is not a realized profit. Excluding revaluation reserve and excluding capital reserve which was generated in case of amalgamation chapter. In amalgamation, you remember difference will be transferred goodwill or capital reserve. So that capital reserve is also part of reserve and supplemental, excluding that because that was not generated out of profit. So excluding these two reserve. Understood? So all reserve, but excluding what? Revaluation reserve and capital reserve which was created through amalgamation. Correct? But it will include what? Securities premium. Add securities premium. Okay, securities premium is also not created out of profit. That is a part of contribution from shareholders only. But that will be a part of net worth. So first share capital, paid up share capital, you know paid up share capital, na? Paid up share capital plus all reserve created out of profit excluding revaluation reserve and capital reserve which was created during amalgamation. Then add securities premium less, can you say less all accumulated losses? If suppose uh, PL appropriation account has negative balance, so that is accumulated losses, so that will be deducted. If you are adding profit to deduct what? Loss. So add less accumulated losses. When I am saying that accumulated losses means it is negative balance of PL account. Negative balance of PL account. Correct. Less any deferred expenditure and miscellaneous expenditure not yet written off. Deferred expenditure and miscellaneous expenditure not yet written off. From Bachman's there is a one doubt. So what is this miscellaneous expenditure? What is this deferred expenditure? Correct? Means any expenditure which is not yet transferred to PL, which has been postponed, which has been deferred. Correct now? I hope you are understanding. Any expenditure which has not been transferred to PL, which will be transferred to PL in future year, that is known as what? Deferred expenditure. Can you give me some example of deferred expenditure? Preliminary expenses. Any more example? Any more example? Correct. Now just try to understand. You have given one example preliminary expenses, but nowadays we don't defer any expenditure. Means there is no concept of deferred expenditure. There is no concept of miscellaneous expenditure. So why it is written here? Because it is Companies Act. Can we change there? Means in Companies Act it has been defined. It has been defined that if there is any deferred expenditure, that you also deduct. But now, as per current situation, there is no concept of deferred expenditure. Detailed discussion will be done in respective Ind AS. Correct? So I will say now there is no concept of deferred expenditure, but if suppose in balance sheet expenditure is coming which has been deferred, that will be also deducted to calculate what? Net worth. Again, deferred expenditure is nothing but losses only which has not been charged to PL. It is as simple as accumulated losses only. It is as simple as accumulated losses, expenditure which has not been charged to PL. So loss only. So what they want to say, if there is such expenditure, that also you deduct. But now from as per current scenario, there is no such expenditure in balance sheet. There is no such expenditure in balance sheet. Correct? You have given one example of preliminary expenses, but as per AS 26, it should be charged to PL as an expense immediately. As per AS 26. This is as per CA inter syllabus also it cannot be. As per CA inter syllabus also it cannot be deferred. Understood? We'll discuss in some later classes. Correct? Understood. But can I say meaning you have understood? When you know the meaning, you can calculate net worth. But this type of question they will not ask because it becomes past tense. But if suppose they ask you to calculate net worth, this is the formula. Can I say once you can understand how to calculate, you can find out net worth and you can apply whether Ind AS is applicable or not. Now question arises, net worth of which date? Net worth of which date? Correct? Have you understood what I am saying? So what Ind AS says, if it is for 1st April 2016, so you should calculate net worth for 3 previous financial years. You should calculate net worth of 3 previous financial years. So 16, so what is the 3 previous financial year? It is start from 13-14, 14-15 and 15-16. Correct? And if in any one financial year net worth is more than a specified limit, Ind AS will be applicable. Means you should calculate net worth of 13-14, suppose not applicable, not exceeding the limit. 14-15 not exceeding, but 15-16 exceeding, Ind AS will be applicable. It is quite possible 13-14 it was more than 500 crore, but now there was used losses. Due to used losses it is reduced to 400 crore. Quite possible. Then also it will be applicable. Then also it will be applicable. Means how many year? 3 previous financial year. But for third phase, they have written 4. Means 13, 14. Because it is what? Which year? 17 now. So now it becomes 4 previous financial year. 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17. Correct? Then for NBFC also, they have given, if it is applicable from 1st April 2018, so 3 previous financial year. So now 3 it will be what? 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18. And for 1/4/2019, it will be 4 previous financial year starting from 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18 and 18, 19. But not at all important. Past tense. Past tense, na? Past tense. Correct? This much, any doubt? Today I am just giving the introduction part. Not it started the syllabus only, because I am saying not important. Till now they have not asked any question from this topic, even though it is given in ICA study material. Have you understood? So one thing you have understood, that how to calculate net worth. Net worth will be based on which financial statement? Financial statement prepared based on existing accounting standard. That is given. Check karo. Ind AS is applicable for both consolidated and individual financial statement. Correct? You know about consolidated financial statement, you know about individual financial statement. So if Ind AS is applicable, so Ind AS is applicable for both individual financial statement as well as consolidated financial statement. Correct? Net worth should be calculated based on standalone, not consolidated. Based on standalone, because it is applicable entity wise, not group wise. It is applicable entity wise, not group wise. So you need to calculate net worth based on a standalone financial statement of each entities. This, have you understood? Correct. Fourth point, already we have discussed. The companies whose shares are listed, are in the process listed in SME stock exchange, are not required to comply with Ind accounting standard. However, they may voluntarily adopt what? Ind AS. But once they voluntarily adopt, can they reverse it? No. Once they have adopted, they need to apply for lifelong. So if you want to adopt, king can adopt. Understood? Correct? So once you cannot reverse it, means can I say this applicability is irrevocable? This applicability is irrevocable. Suppose right now your net worth is 500 crore or more than 500 crore. Ind AS is applicable. Second year it is 200 crore. Quite possible. Whether Ind AS is applicable or not applicable. Applicable only. Once adopted, adopted. Correct? You can't reverse it. So once a company voluntarily adopt, follow Ind AS, it means it is irrevocable. It means it is irrevocable. Correct? One thing we have understood, that if you are not applying Ind AS, then apply what? If you are not applying Ind AS, then apply what? Existing accounting standard, that is given. Companies not covered by the roadmap shall continue to apply existing accounting standard. Correct? Understood? Now Ind AS applicable. Ind AS is applicable. Now Ind AS is applicable. The question arises, if there is some differences between some law and Ind AS, which will prevail? Because Ind AS is also part of company rules. So suppose Companies Act and this Ind AS are differ in some accounting treatment. Quite possible. For example, I am just giving one example, that our Companies Act says that for redemption of debenture, DRR should be created. Debenture redemption reserve should be created. Or you know about capital redemption reserve. These are the points given in Companies Act, but Ind AS is silent. Ind AS is silent. You know about buyback of equity shares? We used to create CRR, capital redemption reserve. You remember? That is given in Ind AS or Companies Act. That is given under Companies Act. So can I say Ind AS is silent? So will you follow Companies Act or Ind AS? Okay, Act will always prevail over what? Ind AS. So law will always prevail over Ind AS. If law is silent, then follow what? Ind AS. Correct? So that is given. Law will prevail over AS or Ind AS. Correct? Means just try to understand what I am saying. When I am saying, first always we should give importance to what? Act. Then what? Ind AS. And then generally acceptable accounting practice is the rule. Correct? Means if act is silent, then follow what? If India is silent, then follow what? Generally acceptable accounting practice. So we need to prepare financial statement. We can't say India is silent, will not prepare. Can we say like that? No. Then you follow what everyone is doing. That is known as generally acceptable accounting practice. When I am saying India's, you can add on AS also for CA enter. Understood? Have you understood? Now just try it one. When I am saying Act, so Act includes Schedule 3. Companies Act includes Schedule 3. So Schedule 3 is a part of Companies Act. Schedule 3 is a part of Companies Act. And we are preparing our balance sheet and statement pair as per the requirement of Schedule 3. So there may be some difference between Schedule 3 requirement and Ind AS. There may be some difference, na? Are bolna yes or no? Now the question arises, if there is some difference between Schedule 3 and the requirement of Ind AS, which follow Ind AS or Schedule 3? So Schedule 3 has mentioned that if there is some difference between Schedule 3 and Ind AS, follow Ind AS. Means Schedule 3 will not prevail over this point. Have you understood? I am saying only Schedule 3. Other schedules of Companies Act will be prevailed. Means there is one Schedule 2 for depreciation. So Schedule 2 will prevail over requirement of Ind AS. I hope you are understanding. Only I am saying about Schedule 3. Means can I say you can change the format given in Schedule 3 as per the requirement of Ind AS? Follow yes or no? We can modify the Schedule 3 format or not? Yes, as per the requirement of Ind AS. As per the requirement of Ind AS. Got it? This point have you understood? Correct. These all are practical points. They're all practical points. Not related to exam. But this can be asked in interview. In interview such question they will ask. Can we modify? You will say no, we can't modify. They will say bye bye. They will say bye bye na. It means you don't know this point. How can you become CA? We can modify. Yes, we can modify. Correct. Now just try to. There are 5 important points. Four important points. I don't know whether question will be asked from that point or not. But if I am preparing question paper, I will love to ask these questions from this chapter. Correct? So what are that 4 important points? Point number 1. Suppose there is one Indian listed company. Ind AS applicable? And it has one foreign subsidiary. Foreign subsidiary. Foreign subsidiary means it is incorporated in some other country. But the Ind AS applicable, not applicable? Bolo. Ind AS applicable, not applicable? Apply your common sense. Applicable, not applicable? When I am saying companies, so we are discussing about Indian companies or foreign companies? Indian companies, so not applicable, na? When I am saying company means any company registered under Companies Act. These foreign companies are not registered under Companies Act. So they may be some foreign subsidiary. Are bola yes or no? Means Ind AS not applicable? Ind AS not applicable. Means they are preparing financial statement based on Ind AS. They may be preparing financial statement based on IFRS. There is some difference. Now they are preparing their separate financial statement based on Ind AS. Separate financial statement means standalone. Correct? But they will also prepare consolidated financial statement. Now, whether this can be consolidated, because this is based on what? This is based on what? So can we consolidate this to financial statement? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, we cannot. So no. It means, can I say, for consolidation, what these foreign subsidiaries should do, they should provide information based on what? Information based on what? Ind AS. Information based on Ind AS. So they will prepare CFS based on Ind AS only, correct? But these foreign subsidiaries should provide information about their financial statement based on Ind AS. Then only consolidation is possible. Have you understood this point? Means what I want to say, for reporting purpose they are preparing our financial statement based on their applicability. Means if IFRS is applicable, they will apply IFRS. Only for consolidation purpose, they will provide information based on what? Ind AS. But they are not preparing financial statement based on Ind AS. I hope you are able to follow me what I am saying. Have you understood this point? Correct. Second point. Correct. Suppose there is one listed company, correct, and Ind AS is applicable. Understood? Have you understood this point? And they have one subsidiary company which may be either banking company or insurance company or NBFC, correct? And suppose Ind AS was applicable from 1/4/2016, let us assume. Means this company was not banking company, not insurance company, not NBFC. So as per phase 2, it from mandatory it was applicable from 1/4/2016. Now they may have a subsidiary which may be a banking company, which may be an insurance company, which may be NBFC. Now the question arises, to this subsidiary company whether Ind AS will be applicable from 1/4/2016 or as per their time applicability. Have you understood what I am saying? So what do you want to say? 1/4/2016 as per their time applicability. As per their time applicability, because can I say under that roadmap it was not covered only for them, a different applicability time has been given. So even though they are subsidiary of what? Of this listed company, then also Ind AS is not applicable. Look at it, to them Ind AS will be applicable. Will be applicable as per their time applicability. Have you understood this point? This type of question should be asked, can be asked. Got it what I am saying? Point number 3. Point number 3. Listed company, parent, banking company, subsidiary. Quite possible. Or you can say insurance company or whatever. Now, for banking company right now Ind AS is not applicable. Means they are preparing their standalone financial statement based on Ind AS, and they are preparing their individual financial statement based on AS. When I am saying SFS, SFS means what? No, separate financial statement. When I say SFS, as per Ind AS, SFS means what? Separate. Write down. For the first time you are using now. Write down. Separate. When I am saying IFS means what? Individual. Both are different terms. You can't interchange this term, huh? SFS and IFS are two different terms. Correct? Have you understood? SFS means what? Separate financial statement. IFS means what? Individual financial statement. Correct? IFS is commonly known as standalone financial statement also. But under Ind AS, what name has been used? IFS. Therefore, I am also using IFS. I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying. Correct? Means any parent company, any company which is a parent company, if they are preparing their own financial statement, their financial statement is known as separate financial statement. Means any entity which is not a parent company, any entity which is not a parent company, if they are preparing their own financial statement, that will be known as what? Individual financial statement. Means suppose I am a parent company, so I will prepare a separate financial statement. If you are not a parent company, you will prepare what? Individual financial statement. Understood? Why the different name? We'll discuss later on. But whenever I am saying SFS, in your mind what should come? Parent company. When I am saying IFS, in your mind any company which is not a parent company should come. Therefore, for subsidiary I have written what? IFS. For parent company I have written what? SFS. Can you see this parent company will also prepare CFS, and CFS should be based on Ind AS only. Now you only say, can we consolidate these two? Not possible. Therefore, this banking company will provide what? Information based on what? Information based on Ind AS. For which purpose? For consolidation purpose. For reporting purpose, they are preparing as per what? AS. But for consolidation purpose, they should provide information based on Ind AS. Means indirectly Ind AS is applicable. Indirectly applicable or not? But for reporting purpose, not applicable. For reporting purpose, not applicable. Understood? Otherwise, the consolidation not possible only now. Got it? One more. Point number 4. Suppose there is one banking company which is a parent company, and there is one listed company which is not a banking company, but it is a subsidiary. Quite possible. Quite possible. So for this bank company, Ind AS is not applicable. Not applicable na? बोलना रही. And for this listed company, let us assume Ind AS is applicable. I am assuming, Ind AS is applicable because net worth is more than 500 crore. Correct? This situation is also quite possible, na? Now, this banking company will prepare their separate financial statement based on AS, and consolidated financial statement based on AS only. But this listed company will prepare their individual financial statement based on Ind AS. Whether we can consolidate? Not possible. Therefore, now for consolidation purpose, they will provide information based on what? Information based on AS or Ind AS? AS. So now this subsidiary company will provide information based on AS for which purpose? Consolidation purpose. I hope you have understood. These 3 questions, I think these 3 or 4 case study may be asked in exam. Till now not asked in exam. But if I am preparing question paper, I will pakka ask this type of question. So this is the real life examples, and this type of situation you will get in your real life. Got it? Understood? Yes, sir, we have understood. That is also mentioned. Let us read it. Just read point number 8. It is a relief that overseas means foreign. Overseas means what? Foreign. Foreign subsidiaries, associate or joint venture of Indian companies not required to prepare their standalone financial statement as per Ind AS. So foreign subsidiaries, foreign associate, foreign joint venture are not required to follow Ind AS. However, this entity will still have to report their Ind AS adjusted number for the Indian parent company to prepare what? Consolidated Ind AS account. Correct. Then I have given 3 case study. Already I have discussed this. Point number 2, 3, 4 I have discussed that. That is case study number 1, 2 and 3. Already I have discussed. Correct. Got it. Last point. Company cannot adopt IFRS as a substitution for Ind AS. Cannot adopt IFRS means what they want to say. Let us take one example. This type of case study can be asked in exam. However, it is very common sense wala point. Suppose there is one company, Indian company, which is listed in London Stock Exchange and Indian Stock Exchange. Quite possible. Quite possible. This I am saying before 1/4/2016. Means now they need to fulfill the requirement of both stock exchange. It means they are preparing financial statement based on IFRS and based on existing accounting standard before 1/4/2016. I am saying quite possible. Okay. Now suppose on 1/4/2016 Ind AS is applicable. Ind AS is applicable. And again, the difference between IFRS and Ind AS is only 5%. So they have, what they will say is, sir, we are already applying IFRS. Means we are already preparing financial statement based on IFRS. So there is no need to adopt Ind AS. Are you getting? So can they substitute IFRS instead of Ind AS? Well, no, not possible. It means they need to change this financial statement based on what? Ind AS. Means they need to change the financial statement which were prepared as per existing accounting standard to what? Ind AS. Correct. Now how to change? How to change? This is discussed under Ind AS 101 coming soon in your life. How to change? That is discussed under Ind AS 101, first time adoption of Ind AS. First time adoption of yes. I hope you are understanding. If I will say no sir, we will change this only, then to only 5% difference na. No, you can't do that. You need to change your financial statement already prepared based on AS to financial statement which will be prepared based on Ind AS as per the requirement of Ind AS 101. What is that requirement? We'll discuss under Ind AS 101. Have you understood? Introduction over. Introduction correct. Any doubt you can ask me. Have you understood this much? Correct. So once introduction completed, now we'll come to what? Chapters. Means all the chapters what I have done, I have divided into Ind AS only. Means Ind AS 1 will be one chapter. Ind AS 2 will be second chapter. If Ind AS 2. As per my convenience. Means as per my convenience means let us come to index of my book. Because I need to first inform you how I will teach you. Correct now. Let us come to you can see chapter number 1, chapter number 2. Let us start with chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 you can see Ind AS 1. Chapter number 4 I have written Ind AS 8. It does not mean we don't have Ind AS 7. Ind AS 7 might be chapter number 27. Ind AS 2, there is Ind AS 2 also. Ind AS 2 is chapter number 7. So this book has been designed as per my convenience because this book has been designed by Chiranjeev Jain. Correct? So I have not said Ind AS 1, Ind AS 2 and so on. Correct? Why I have designed in such a way? Because it will be easy for revision. Correct? Means when you are revising for the first time, first you should know Ind AS 1, then only you should go to Ind AS 8, and then you should come to Ind AS 37 and so on. Means if you do Ind AS 7 before consolidation chapter, you will die. Means to start Ind AS 7, I should first complete which chapter? Consolidation chapter. Then only you can understand Ind AS 7. Now if you revise by your own Ind AS 7 before consolidation chapter, a lot of doubt will come or not? A lot of doubt will come. So your revision should be based in this mode only. First time revision. First time revision. Second revision, I will inform you at the end of the class. I said how many revision required? 2 times. So first revision, it is my suggestion. But students do not follow suggestion. You will do as per your requirement, I know. Because you are at CA final. You have your own strategies. And you will never follow the teacher from where you have done classes. You will go because you have YouTube. You go to other faculties, you follow them. Normally I have seen. I don't know why, but normally I have seen what others will say, you will do that only. Acha, you are doing this. This is only good. Normally I have seen. And this is the reason why students are confused before exam. CA final students die because they are confused before exam. What to do, what not to do. Because you have many friends now, and all other friends are doing from respective faculties, other faculties. And you will start discussing. And you will have you do not have faith on your own faculties. I'm not saying others faculties are not good. All faculties who are teaching at CA final level are very good faculties. Otherwise, they will not able to teach at CA final. It's very difficult to teach at CA final level. You know, in CA foundation, there are 1000 accounts teacher. There will be 1000. Non-CA are also teaching CA. Bolo yes or no? In CA foundation, I think from where you have taken coaching, they might not be chartered accountant only. But they have taught you, na? Maja aaya? Are bolla re, you passed or not? But that 1000 will become 500 at CA Inter. Means all CA foundation account teachers are not able to teach CA Inter. Are bolla re? And that 500 will become 1520 at CA final. You know this. 500 will become what? Only you can count in number. See how many teachers are teaching CA final FR in India. You can count in only 15-20, not more than that. Why it's so? Because it is not easy to teach at CA final level unless you have knowledge, vast knowledge. Understood? It means any teacher who is teaching at CA final, who is coming to this platform, it means he knows the subject. You should have faith on them. Correct? So this is the index. I will say for first revision you should follow this only. Second revision, second or last revision, whatever, I will inform you how to revise, but at the end of the class. But in class, I'll follow my own technique. Today we'll start with one chapter, which is Ind AS 37. Why I will start with Ind AS 37? Because if I will start with Ind AS 1, you will die. Why you will die? Because there are many terminology which you don't know right now. And Ind AS 1 deals with presentation of financial statement. But if I will say biological asset, do you know about biological asset? Do you know about biological asset? Achho, biological asset. Financial asset? The new terms in your life. And in the presentation of financial statement, these terms will be used. So if I will use financial statement or biological financial asset or biological asset or non-current asset held for sale, new terms na? Non-current asset held for sale. Right. You know non-current asset, but held for sale, you don't know. So there are many terms. For example, comprehensive income. New terms in your life now. Right now you don't know about comprehensive income. So can you say this? If you don't know, I can't start with Ind AS 1. Most of the faculty start with Ind AS 1. I don't know how. Revision you should do from Ind AS 1 only. देखो, अरे बोलना रे. Because once the class is over, you know every terms ना. So revision you should start from Ind AS 1. But class I will not start from Ind AS 1. Are you getting? So I will start from Ind AS 37. Ind AS 37 is what? Provision, contingent liabilities and contingent asset. Which accounting standard? AS 29. That you know. Please respond. Huh? Otherwise you will also sleep, I will also sleep. Huh? Then there is no need of face-to-face classes na. Otherwise so you can also buy my recorded classes. Maja aayega. Correct na? So in face-to-face class means we need to be interactive. And initially, right now my speed is not, I have not increased na, because this is first class. I said I need to complete in 150 hours. So 100% I will increase my speed. I need to cope up with me. Correct? But don't worry. Nothing to worry. I am with you. What I am saying, I was saying. Provision, contingent liabilities and contingent asset is not new terms for you, you know. So initially I will start with those standards which you are familiar. So if you are familiar, you will be comfortable in class. I will not start suddenly with any standard which is very new to you. For example, financial asset. If I will start with financial asset right now, initially you will die, I will also die. So I will start with what? Very familiar accounting standard which you have already done where? CA Inter. AS 29 you have done. I will start with Ind AS 37. 95% same. 5% different. So 95% you know na. So I should teach only 5%. अरे बोलना yes or no? But I know what you know. I know what you know. And you also know what you know. Correct? So I will assume that you don't know anything. Correct? I will start from the beginning, even though you know, you don't know. Correct? We'll take break of 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we'll start what? Ind AS 37. तो देखे जाना मेरे को ठीक. और वो Hello. Now, can we start once again, everyone? Before break, we completed introduction of India's. Now, I hope you are familiar with India's terms, correct? Now, let us come to chapter number 5. Chapter number 5. Chapter number 5 of my book, not ICS study material. What is chapter number 5? What about book? How many books I will provide? Let us discuss that also. Will provide you two set of book. One is known as India's Saransh book. India's Saransh book means it will contain all the India's content. Correct? Means all the standards. Correct? Second will be question bank. Question bank will contain all the questions. Correct? So India's content, India's Saransh book. Question bank content, question book. Two set of book. India's will be how many volume? Two volumes. So two volumes of India's Saransh book. Question bank, four volumes. Four volumes of question bank. Correct? It means there are how many books I am providing? 6 books I am providing. This India's Saransh book I have designed in such a way that you are not supposed to prepare your own summary. Means already it is summarized form. But even though it is summarized form, it will be more than 500 pages. Why it is 500 pages? Because you can see in one pages, if you see this one page, so in one page only few points are given, na check kar, this much. Because of that reason it become 500 pages. You can see nothing is there now. This I can write in 4-5 lines also. But I have just given it is prepared in very spacious format so that you can write also something around here also. A lot of space are there na. So you can write down everything, whatever I am discussing right now, which is not written in this India Saransh book, you can also write down in your own handwriting. So what I am saying, you are not supposed to prepare your own summary. It is already summarized. But a lot of space has been left, because of that reason it become more than 500 pages. But actually it is not 500 pages. It can be also prepared in 250 pages also. Understood? So I have made it student friendly. Correct? Okay, correct. India Saransh book, you understood? So let us come to question bank. Now question bank will contain all the questions of ICS study material till date, whatever has been given. Till date I am saying. Means suppose after 6 months some new questions come, so that is not incorporated in that question bank. If any new questions will come, so that will be given as an additional PDF to you. Understood? Have you understood what I am saying? Correct. Means any student who is purchasing my recorded classes after 6 months, it will be already incorporated in the question bank only. But right now it includes all the questions of ICS study material which has been given in ICS study material till date. All the questions of RTP till date. All the questions of MTP till date. All the questions of exams till date. Exam means which exam? November 2022. Understood what I am saying? Any new question, don't worry, I'll provide additional PDF to you. When I am saying new question means totally new. It is not only the number has been changed, so that become a new question, which is totally new question. That you don't worry, I'll provide you as an additional PDF. If suppose that require explanation, so I will make a video on that and I will provide you through Google Drive or whatever, through YouTube or Google Drive. That is my responsibility. Correct? Understood? Correct. This question bank will also contain some question from other sources also, which I think should be also done in class from examination point of view. Correct? So that is also given from other sources, but from exam point of view you can ignore that other sources questions, because what has been seen, ICA asks only questions which is in ICA study material, RTP, MTP or exam question. So you can ignore other sources question if you want to ignore. If you want to ignore, I am not saying if you want to ignore, you can ignore. But it has been seen in the past that one or two questions has been asked from other sources also. Correct? Got it? Have you understood? Yes, sir. Now let us start Ind AS 37. Ind AS 37, what is the title? Provision, contingent liabilities and contingent assets. What is the corresponding AS? Corresponding AS is what? AS 29. Right? Because AS 29 and Ind AS, there is not much difference. Correct? No major difference. Only 3-4 points are there. If you know that, to AS 29 and Ind AS 37 are same only. Correct? It means, can I say, because you have done AS 29, so I can ask some question to you. I can ask some question to you. When I'm asking question, there is no need to read book, because once you read book, your interest will be lost. Correct? Correct. So my first question to you all, what is the meaning of provision? First question is, what is the meaning of provision? Second question, what is the difference between provision and contingent liability? Correct? Third question, whether provision for doubtful debt is a provision. Whether provision for doubtful debt is a provision. This is the third question. Correct? The first question, who will say what is the meaning of provision? Probable outflow of resources, and amount can be estimated. Amount can be estimated, then it become provision. Okay, chalo, theek hai. Anyone want to add some point in this? Is one answer I got. It is a probable outflow of resources and amount can be estimated, so we should create provision. If you want to add something, okay with the answer. Second question, what is the difference between provision and contingent liability? Is you asking provisions are certain? Whether provisions are certain or it is also uncertain? How many are saying provisions are certain? Provisions certain or uncertain? Uncertain or certain? Certain, uncertain? Doubt or doubtful? Doubtful, na? Means already I said I know what you have done in CA Inter. So CA Inter we pass without any conceptual understanding. Bolo yes or no? Bolo yes or no? Yes, you need to accept it. I said in my first hour of class only that you pass CA Inter, but I know what you know, and I also know what you don't know. Correct? Means a simple meaning you are not able to explain it, but then also you pass CA Inter. So CA Inter normally we pass through practice of questions, even though we don't know the concept. Means amalgamation chapter, you have done all the questions correctly, but you don't know the concept behind that I know. But if I give you any question, you can do it or not. Through what? Practice. Through practice. But it is not in CA final. CA final is totally different game. And if you not change your learning process, multiple attempt will come. Multiple attempt will come. So it means learning process need to change. If you continue the same learning process, you will find difficulties. Achha, normally just try to understand before I start. Because first day I need to discuss a lot of things which is required for you. Once I start teaching, I will not stop. So let me ask one question. I'm not asking how many attempts you have taken in CA Inter. You may have taken 1 attempt, 2 attempt, 3 attempt, 4 attempt, 5 attempt, and number of attempts. That is not at all important. But CA Inter exam was difficult or easy? Difficult or easy? What do you think? You pass CA Inter na? So don't say because you pass it become easy. Yeah. It was difficult or easy? Difficult only. Anyone saying very easy, so I will say you are Paramatma. Then to I will need to say he is Paramatma. Correct na? Means when I have given CA Inter exam, for me it was difficult only. I passed, it is different game. But while giving exam, it was difficult or not? 8 subjects. And all 8 subjects are Mahabharat. Bolo yes or no? And all 8 subjects were very new to us. Accounting we say we have done, but all the chapters were new or not? All the chapters were new. Banking company or patani, internal reconstruction, amalgamation, we have never heard about that. So all chapters were new. Then direct tax, indirect tax, then costing, then FM, then economics, then EIS, then SM. Ata kharab. Correct na? So can you see it was difficult? And you passed that exam. Any attempt, that is not at all matter. But you passed exam or not? Means you passed a difficult exam. You pass a difficult exam. So my question to you are average student or exceptional student? You pass a difficult exam, you are average or exceptional? I am not saying extraordinary, because extraordinary term has not been used in India's. So now there is no term like extraordinary item. So now we'll never use extraordinary item, because India's has not used extraordinary item. In AS5 we used to use the extraordinary item, but now will not be extraordinary. We will be either average or exceptional. So what do you think? You are average or exceptional? You only say na, average or exceptional? Exceptional, no doubt about that. You pass a difficult exam. Everyone is not passing na. Out of 125 students is coming to CA final. That in fact you also know. And out of 25 you are one of them. Loud. Yes sir. Means this is a achievement na. 100% achievement, right? 100% achievement. You pass a difficult exam. Means there are many students. Means last few days I met one of my friend only. He informed me that he has also tried CA Inter, but he was not able to pass CA Inter in 2013. So everyone is not passing now. Everyone not passing. So out of 175% students are not able to pass CA Inter exam, and you are among one of the students who pass CA Inter exam, that is among 25%. So there is no doubt that you are very good student. But my question to you, you pass a difficult exam, CA Inter. What happened in CA final? Why students are taking multiple attempts in CA final? That is also one fact. Means after passing CA Inter exam, what happened? What actually happened? And believe me, if you ask me, CA final exam is easier than CA Inter. I can say, and there is no doubt about this. Because in CA final, you have practical knowledge. You are doing articleship. All subjects are not new to you. You have done FM, now it become SFM. You have done AS, now it is Indias. It is not new to you. You have done DT, now it is DT only. You have done IDT, it is IDT only. Only extension we are doing now. You have done costing, now it is cost, SCMP costing only, extension. Costing was new to you, but SCM, whatever is the name of that subject, that is not new to you. It is an extension part. Means all are familiar subject. But what actually happened at CA final? The reason is that we don't change our learning process. CA Inter is only what? Working. But in this now it is conceptual learning. And if you follow that only, practice, you will not able to pass. You need to understand and then practice. You change the process of learning. And because of that is a multiple attempts are taken, because normally student only practice without understanding the concept. Achha, in CA Inter, can you say you first used to read question and then see the solution and then try to understand the concept? Bolo yes or no? Understood? Same thing you will follow here also, but you will not be able to pass. Because here, if you are not able to understand concept first and then apply it by your own, you will die in exam. In all past attempts of CA final FR exam, 95% question were from ICA study matter. When I am saying ICA study matter, means it will include RTP, MTP also. Means 95% question were the same question which has been given in ICA study matter, RTP, MTP. Means question is asked from book. Bolna yes or no? If the question is asked from book, means you have done it, you have practiced it, means can I say there will be no CA final exam, CA final student who have not done that question. Same question they are asking. Bolna yes or no? Means lollipop exam? Bolna yes or no? If you know the question and they are asking the same question, lollipop exam or not? In class 12 also same thing has been happened us. They have given the question, they are asking that question only. They are not changing the question na. So if they are asking the question from ICS study matter or RTP, MTP and you have done that question, then also we are not able to score marks in exam. It means what is the reason? Reason is conceptual understanding. You have done, you have practiced a lot, but you are not understanding. You are not understanding. Got it what I am saying? So don't follow what you have done in CA Inter. Change the process of learning. Correct? Understood? So you said provision, I am not satisfied, totally satisfied. You said contingent liability difference, I am not able to understand what you are saying. Let me now discuss what actually the meaning of provision, contingent liabilities, and what actually the difference between provision and contingent liability. One more question I ask you, whether provision for doubtful debt is a provision. Hello? Yes or no? So you are asking that type of question, it means no only. Whether provision for doubtful debt is a provision? No. Why it is not a provision? Because it is not a but provision for doubtful debt is not a provision. Chalo, I will answer everything. Now let us understand what actually the concept is. Listen everyone. Correct. Now, have you done AS4? I am starting from basics. This whatever I teach, I am teaching right now. I teach in CA Inter also. Have you done CA Inter from me? You have not done CA Inter from me? So you don't know how I teach. But the same thing I teach in CA Inter. Same thing I teach in CA Inter. Correct? Understood? So let us understand what actually was required in CA Inter. But then also you pass. Because that much knowledge was not required in CA Inter. But now it is required. If now I will not teach, then I will be guilty of professional teaching. Huh? Bolo yes or no? I will be guilty of professional teaching. Na? So I need to teach, you need to also learn. Okay? Now you have done AS4. What was AS4? AS4 was what? Contingencies and event occurring after balance sheet date. But contingencies part was withdrawn from AS4 after introduction of AS29. But the meaning of contingencies was given under AS4. Means contingencies was not defined in AS29. Means to understand the meaning of contingencies, we need to refer AS4. Have you done the meaning of contingencies? You have not done the meaning of contingencies because you have done directly what? AS29, and in AS4 the teacher has done only what? Event occurring after balance sheet date. So I know you have not done the meaning of contingencies. So let me first start with the meaning of contingencies. So this contingencies meaning I am doing as per AS form, not as per Ind AS. Not as per Ind AS means I am not teaching Ind AS. Right now I am teaching you AS. Have you understood? Contingencies has not been defined in Ind AS. Have you understood this point? So what is the meaning of contingencies? Contingencies means, correct? Contingency means any conditions arising, yeah, condition existing on balance sheet date. Any conditions existing on which date? Balance sheet date. Understood this point? Means any condition which is already existing on balance sheet date. In India, balance sheet date means what? 31st March? Correct. Outcome of which is not known. Outcome of which is not known. Outcome means what? Result of that condition is not known. Okay, this outcome can be either what? Favorable. It can be favorable or what? Unfavorable. To whom? To entity. So the outcome may be favorable or unfavorable. Outcome of that condition which is existing on balance sheet date. But this outcome is dependent. This outcome is dependent. This outcome is dependent on what? Happening or non-happening. Non-happening of what? Uncertain future event. Uncertain future event. Correct? Means it is dependent on event which is future event, and that future event is uncertain. Correct? But condition is already existing on balance sheet date. Means condition is not future. It is not future condition. It is already existing on. If I am saying already existing on balance sheet date, means it is already arising from which event? Past event. So condition already existing due to which event? Past event. Means event already occurred, and because of that event some condition is already existing on balance sheet date. Means this condition is arising from what? Arising from past event. Arising from past event. I hope you are understanding. Which is depend means the outcome of that condition is dependent on future event, and that future event is uncertain. Future event is uncertain. Correct? And that future event, this future event is not within the control of entity. Within the control of entity means entity cannot control such event. Entity cannot control such event means entity cannot decide what will happen in future. So entity has no control over such event. Understood? So which is not within the control of entity. This is the meaning of contingencies. This is the meaning of contingencies. Correct? Have you understood? So what is the meaning of contingencies? Can you repeat with me? Contingencies are condition existing on balance sheet date, outcome of which is not known, which is dependent on happening or non-happening of uncertain future event, which is not within the control of entity. Meaning is very simple. Meaning is very simple. Means if I take one example, very simple example I will take. Let us take one example. Real life example I am taking. Let us introduce these contingencies in your life. Let us introduce these contingencies in your life. Okay? Can you see, because you passed 12th exam, because of that reason you are into this course? So the day when you pass 12th exam, 12th means what? 11, 12 means you call it intermediate, na? Junior college or whatever, correct? But it is 11, 12 only. The 12th exam you pass, either from science background or commerce background, that is not at all important. Anyone is from science background who converted into commerce? All are from commerce background? Thank you very much. I was also from commerce background. Correct, I was also from commerce background. But science background, sometimes they also come na, and they also opt for CA. You know, science background student normally become CA. Means I have never seen any science student who opted for CA and has not become CA. My all previous students who were from science background, normally they pass CA examination normally in first attempt. And commerce students who are doing accounts, economics from last 2 years, they struggle. You know this fact, na? Because of that reason you are laughing, na? Now don't worry, I was also victim of this commerce education. I was just like you. But I realized this thing initially only. You need to also realize the same thing. Yes, we were the victim of Indian education system. Class 11, 12. Why CA become complicated? Because of commerce education in class 11, 12. You know, science, any science student, if you ask, if your senior, if your brother, sister who are from science background, you ask this question. 11, 12, first they will teach them theory. And then they will give the practical implication of that theory. Means first theoretical knowledge will be given and then practical application will be given. Theoretical means all definition will be explained, everything will be given in theory, diagram, everything will be shown in diagram. Then they will go to the lab or whatever, and then they will perform practically also. Means they know the logic behind all practical things, whatever they are doing. In commerce, you came to class 11, first day of account class. They said, देखो बच्चों, this is balance sheet. Here write down all asset, here write down all liability. So what is asset? No one has explained. No one has given the correct meaning of asset. Bolo yes or no? What is liability? They have given examples. देखो बच्चों, examples, building, you know building? Yes sir, building we know. Building is an asset. Bolo yes or no? Acha, one more plant. Acha, land you know? Yes sir, land so we see, that is an asset. They have given example, they have not defined asset. Bolo yes or no? And then they will say this is profit and loss account. All income will come yahan par, all expense will come yahan par. They have given examples. This item will come yahan par, this item will come. This is what? Rectification. And then they have given question. You started preparing trial balance. From trial balance, you started preparing balance sheet. Lot of questions you have done. 1000 questions you have practiced. Maja aa gaya. But right now, if I ask you what is the meaning of asset, you might struggle. You might, I am saying. You may know the meaning, but you might struggle. One or I will just give you some information. They have given the journal. You have done journal entries. Journal entries, what they have given? Golden rules. Golden rules, they said what? There are 3 types of account. What are the 3 types of account? Real account, nominal account, personal account. Rules you know. Real account means what? What? Debit what? Comes in. Credit what? Goes out. Nominal account debit all expenses. Credit all income. Personal account debit the receiver. Credit the giver. So rules you know. Rules you know na. Arey bolna re. But if I ask you what is real account? Rules you know. They have given the rules. But if I ask you what is real account, you might struggle. You might struggle. Means examples you know. I mean right now I'll ask you give me some examples of real account that you all know. But what is real account? What is personal account? You might be having some difficulties. It means proper knowledge was not given in class 11, 12 only. And because of that reason CA become complicated. But science when directly came to CA foundation, all things were new to them. They started understanding conceptually. But you have done class 11, 12, nah? You are expert in that. You ignored CA foundation concept. You know everything. Journal entry भी नो ना. अरे बोलना रे. You started ignoring concept once again, and that become because there isn't the CA become complicated for you. Acha. Let me ask you two things, then I will proceed. This definition we have done. What is the meaning of real account? Let's see. This just I am not trying to. I've already said you are exceptional, and I was also like you. I was also from commerce background. I was also just like you. Correct? Have you understood? Till CA final, I was also not knowing the meaning of CA real account. So I was among you only, huh? Correct? Understood? So I'm not trying to demotivate you. I'm just informing you now how you should study. Correct? You should first realize that yes, we have done some mistake that we should rectify now. That I am just informing you. Okay? Correct. What is real account? Anyone who can explain? Don't give me examples, huh? Examples, you are expert. In interview, suppose they ask this question. Suppose they will not ask. I know. Skip you, they will also skip you. You can't say skip now. Can you say skip in interview? I don't know. For real account. Correct. Never says, huh? Because that is the person who is taking an interview, he is also chartered accountant. Correct. They will throw you like this. So real account, if suppose they ask you this question and if you are not able to answer it, what impression you are creating? They will say you are not chartered accountant. Bolo yes or no? He means expertise in accounts or not? Only one person who is expert in accounts is what? CA. In tax, so there may be some other person also who may be expert. But in accounts, only one person in India, that is chartered accountant. They are expert. Am I right or not? So you should have complete knowledge of accounts or not? Correct? I am giving you 1 day. How many days I am giving you? 1 day. Research and inform me what is real account in next day. You can take the help of your senior, your chartered accountant, principal, or any friends or girlfriend, boyfriend, or any books or Google Baba also. So you can search anywhere. I want correct definition of real account. Let's see how you are doing research. You need to start you should inculcate of one habit of researching also. How to research anything by your own. Correct? Yes, sir. So I'm not asking the meaning of asset, huh? I'm not asking you the meaning of asset, but I have asked you real account to inform me that something we have not done in class 11, 12 that we should do. In CA foundation, there also we have not done. In CA inter, there also we have not done. But now we should do na. Understood? Correct. So I'm just taking one example to explain the meaning of contingencies. To explain the meaning of contingencies. But today time is over. Correct? Our timing will be from 6:30 to 9:45. Correct? Okay, today this much only. I was not supposed to start this only, but okay. Today this much only. Contingencies we have done, but we have not completed. Okay. Today my speed was normal. I will increase the speed as the batch will proceed. As the batch will proceed. Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Enjoy your remaining day. Bye bye.